Does the word feedback make you cringe? Maybe even regardless of whether you're on the receiving or on the giving end. You see a lot of people either dismiss feedback or are threatened by it. Either way, it makes the gift of feedback, what feedback really is a gift, a lot less helpful and a lot less effective. But what if you actually could use feedback to improve your relationships at work? With your coworkers, with your boss? Wouldn't that be cool? In this video, I'm about to teach you how to do that. Hello, this is Dr. OLGATARA helping you engage the hearts and minds of your coworkers. As an organizational consultant and coach, as well as a researcher on organizational culture and workplace relationships, I've had the privilege of helping hundreds of professionals improve collaboration in their functional and cross-functional teams. If you are interested to learn from me how to level up your collaboration, I can give you more details about that at the end of this video. Subscribe to my channel and hit the bell to get notified every time I post a new video every week. Maybe you have tried different formulas and steps, but they still seem like rocking the boat too much. Or you try to be more open to feedback, but it either falls short on having an impact and really helping you with your development, or it hurts so much you'd rather not think about it. In this video, I'm about to show you another way, which just may help you shift those gears and start getting better results. We are told that feedback is important, and yet we are afraid of it. As a receiver of feedback, we may be afraid to hear that somebody doesn't like us, or that they know something bad about us that everybody else knows but we don't. That's unlikely, but we may be afraid of that. On the giving end, we may be afraid that the receiver will be dismissive of feedback or will get defensive, and that will ruin their entire relationship that you have with them. However, feedback is at the core of every interaction. It's at the core of each relationship. We will talk in a second about how you can improve your workplace relationships with using feedback, but first, let's talk a little bit about what feedback is, what is its function, and why did I say at the very beginning that it's a gift? We want to belong above all, and that is why hearing something critical or negative about ourselves is so painful. But you want to know that people like you, appreciate you, and value you? That is feedback too. At the same time, hearing only praise, especially superlative like great job, fantastic job, awesome job, on mundane tasks that maybe thank you would be enough, hearing that all the time may leave you doubtful that you can really trust that kind of feedback. You would want to balance that with some pointers that you can actually learn from. As a giver of feedback, you also want to continue to belong to the group. You also want to continue to belong and have the relationship with the other person. That is why we actually are having this conversation, right? And therefore, you want to know that it is safe to give feedback, that you will still have a job, that you will still be a respected member of the team, and that that other person will still be talking to you after this. There are different kinds of what we call feedback. One kind is the feedback that helps someone learn and improve in their work, helps them get better at what they do, and helps them be more successful. Another one is the kind of feedback that helps us see how we show up to other people, how we inspire them, or how we rub them the wrong way. Another kind of feedback is how we are in the way of other people, or how they need us to show up to them, or how they need us to help them. This may be in the way of what we do or how we do things. And the last one is the last kind of feedback is consequences to our actions or responses to our offers. So feedback is really everywhere. It's really at the core of every relationship. Our beliefs about feedback are really powerful. Comment below with one thing that comes to mind when you hear the word feedback. There are people who actually believe that feedback can help them grow, help them get better. They seek feedback and they do get better because you know what? We learn from other people and that really helps us get better. If your perspective on feedback is that it is something punitive, it hurts, and it's something that you want to avoid at all costs, you may want to think about how you want to shift that. One way of shifting that perspective is by teaching yourself, training yourself to get curious about feedback that other people give you. Eventually, you may even start believing that they actually tell you something, they actually give you feedback because they care about you and they want you to be more successful, or they care about the project, the common goal that you have, the environment that you have in common to be better, or their own work to be easier. And all of that, I believe, is true for any kind of feedback. Really, that's the core of feedback and why people even bother giving somebody feedback. You might want to forgive people for being unskillful at giving feedback and really model what skillful feedback giving is like. The skills of giving feedback is a separate story. We don't really have the time to go into that in this particular video, but I will make another video and I will put the link below to it in the description. Before we jump into talking about how to use feedback to improve relationships, let's talk about one more thing real quick about the how of giving feedback. I want to expand on 3 ways of how you can make feedback giving and receiving a non-threatening experience. Number 1, lay the foundation. At the beginning of a project or a working relationship with someone who you will be interacting with a lot, it is helpful to discuss how each of you would like to receive feedback. It may be about one specific topic that you're looking to get better at, and your counterpart may be an expert on that, and you would really benefit from their perspective, guidance, tips, and tricks. Or you can be open to anything, any feedback that they may give you that might, from their perspective, help you become better or do a better job. It is also important to keep in mind that there may be circumstances under which you or your counterpart do or do not want to hear feedback. For example, I want to hear feedback from my team about just about any time except for 2 things. 1, when it's in front of the client, and 2, when I'm about to speak in front of a group. Other than that, I am open to it about any time. I would still appreciate, however, them letting me know and that they have some feedback to discuss that they want to share with me. And even better, if they put some time on my calendar and really let me know that it's about feedback and it's about feedback about specific meeting or a specific project or a specific situation. Letting people know about feedback that's coming and what it is about is actually helping to decrease defensiveness. By the way, I made another video on how to get started as business partners that can help in relationships with coworkers as well. I will put the link in the description below. Number 2, take the drama out of it. I hear a lot of drama language around feedback, things like ruin the relationships or hurt others' feelings. Remember drama triangle, or if you don't remember, look it up. It has 3 roles. It has rescuer, villain, and the victim. And neither of them are solving the actual problem. And that's the issue with the drama. Drama belongs in movies and theaters, and it's great, so let's leave it there. In real life, whether your work life or your personal life, it really doesn't help with your relationships. Drama fails to help us connect. It fails to help us see and understand each other. It wastes time, it breeds disconnection, and it uses our precious emotional and even physical resources. Being defensive about feedback is as dramatic as it is human, so don't be too hard on yourself or your relationship partner when you get defensive about things. But there is something you can do about this. You can get less and less defensive about things. We talked about how to do that earlier, and fewer times defensive. So you can be defensive today, but not defensive tomorrow, not defensive the day after, for example. And that will do wonders to your workplace relationships. Number 3, assume positive intent. If you want to learn something new or you want to facilitate another person's learning through this conversation, come to this conversation about feedback with positive intent. come assuming positive intent from yourself and assuming positive intent from the other person. This will inform the way you have that conversation. It will inform it in several ways. One of them is your demeanor, which is only one way of how you influence those around you. But your demeanor will get more aligned with caring for other people and focusing on improving relationships rather than punishing them. And it will influence those around you, and it will inform the outcome of the conversation as well. Now that we've talked about the function of feedback and how to give and receive feedback, now we're ready to have the conversation about how to use feedback to deepen and improve your workplace relationships. Relationships develop on a spiral, from getting to know each other through tension as its pivotal moment. At the moment of tension, you have choices. One choice is to disengage, retreat from the relationship. Another is to submit to another person's way or have them submit your way. And then there is a choice to recommit to the relationship, in which both of you relationship partners work towards strengthening the relationship by getting to know each other more, even at the potential cost of being disliked or different. This is about respecting the truth, your own and the other person's, and focusing on the value that both of you have for each other. What is the best choice is culturally specific, which means that you need to navigate what is best for your situation. Let me know in the comments if you have questions about that. Wondering why am I talking about tension all of a sudden in this conversation about feedback? Well, you see, regardless of cultural norms, feedback giving and receiving, the moment of feedback is actually a moment of tension. And it is the tension that takes your experience, your relationship actually, to the next level. Remember that the other person is not you, that they're different from you, that they have experiences, truth, challenges, strengths and weaknesses, and everything else that is unlike yours. Be curious about them and be respectful of what is true for them, what is their experience, and be respectful of yourself. Be curious for both, actually, for yourself and for the other person. Curiosity is your biggest friend here. Feedback is a gift in several ways. For once, it's up to you to decide what you do with it. You can take it in, you can throw it away, it's totally up to you. It is also a meaningful person-to-person experience that you share with your coworker. It is an opportunity for you to truly connect and to reinforce the value that you have for each other. Feedback is also a gift because the way you handle this conversation can increase some or all components of your workplace relationship. They can increase trust, it can increase your closeness, significance, or clarity, and this will strengthen your relationship as a result. If you're interested to learn more about how to improve your workplace relationships, I have a few videos that I think might be helpful. I have a video on how to navigate tensions, how to get along with your coworkers, how to get along with your boss. So check those out. I put the links to those videos below this one in the description. Now you know how to improve your workplace relationships using feedback, which I hope you found helpful. The truth is, it is easier to build relationships when you are co-located, when you can see each other, when you can have a random chat about weather or traffic, and it's typically much more challenging to do that when you are remote. For that, I put together a guide on how to make virtual collaboration successful. Feel free to download it via the link below. If you found this video helpful, please let me know by putting helpful in the comments below. But even more so by sharing this video with your friends and coworkers that you care about. Subscribe to my channel and hit the bell to get notified every time I post a new video every week. Now, if you're interested in leveling up your functional or cross-functional collaboration, I have on-demand courses, and I can also do a custom live training for your team. To find out more information about this, go to my website, drolgatara.com, to find out more details about my on-demand training and/or to fill out an application for the custom live training for your team. If it looks like we're potentially well-suited to be working together, then me or someone on my team will be reaching back to you. Like this video if it's helpful and tell me in the comments below, or better yet, in the survey. I put the link to the survey below in the description to this video, what other questions or concerns you have when it comes to collaboration, and I will do my best to answer your question. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video.